have follow-ups attached to them. I'm going to ask what I think is a simple standalone. One of the last big federal laws addressing the issue of gay rights and gay marriage was the Defense of Marriage Act passed during the Clinton administration that talked about basically allowing states not to recognize marriage as sanctioned in other states and between same-sex couples. The issue of same-sex marriage seems to come up in every Congress in some way, shape, or form. Senator Barack Obama, one of the nominees for one of the people attempting to be a nominee for your party at the presidency, has said he supports repealing the law. If you want to use kind of the repeal of defense of marriage as a launching off point, would you support that? Would you oppose that? And more in general, what do you think the federal government's role ought to be, if any, in regulating the issue?
Teresa, would you like to go first?
I believe I would repeal the Defense of Marriage Act. I see that there are two types of unions. There's the religious union, which is sanctioned by the church, and which is something that's not regulated by the government. I see there are civil unions, and these unions are done by the state, and they accord family responsibilities, benefits, privileges that each family should have. I support civil unions for same-sex or opposite-sex individuals. I've had an opportunity to see families where there were same-sex couples who were loving to each other and to their children. I've seen opposite-sex couples who were abusive and treated each other and their children abominably. So to me, it's loyalty, love, mutual caring, and respect that defines what a family should be.
There are many groups that seek relief from the Supreme Court for many different things. But under Amendment 10 of the Constitution, it plainly states in there that if it's mentioned, they have the power over. If it's not mentioned, it's the rights of the states to rule. Any state that wants to rule same-sex marriage is acceptable. I mean, acceptable is okay if that's what the state wants to do. I mean, it represents those people in that state or that area. At the same time, I don't know why that bill was passed in reality to stop one state from recognizing marriage in the other state, because it's still, at that point in time, that wasn't even addressed to the Supreme Court. But I don't like the idea of going to the Supreme Court for every little thing that they come up with to get around the fact that it plainly states in the Constitution under this Amendment 10 that if it's not directed from them, if they don't take possession over that right, like guns and other things, then that goes back to the state. The state should have its rights. It should have some rights. Wars have been fought over states' rights. So I think the state has its right, it has its position, but I would like to be on a more liberal note that what two consenting adults do in their privacy is absolutely their business. And I'm talking about adults consenting and in privacy. That matters not to me, and I don't want them to have a position on me. I just happen to be married, and that seems to be the acceptable form at the time. However, if these people, on the other hand, these people deserve representation. They are citizens of this country. They pay taxes. So therefore, they deserve a fair and equitable shake. They are being denied some rights that should be given to them. I don't know if we should call it marriage, maybe a civil union with the rights spelled out exactly. We do not want to pass a law to where they can force a church to marry them that does not believe in that. At the same time, they certainly have a right to form their own church and believe whatever they want.
First off, let me say I don't look at the situation as same-sex couples. I look at it as two human beings that love each other. Whether or not they're from the same sex or not doesn't make a difference to me. And treating people like human beings, I would absolutely repeal the Defense of Marriage Act. And I would push for a federal law that would require states to recognize marriages in other states, even if it is a same-sex couple, because non-same-sex couples have that right. And who am I to tell people what to do? I've seen several instances in the LGBT community where folks have a sick loved one in the hospital, and they cannot go visit that sick loved one because they're not recognized as being a couple. And I would never do that to anybody. That's not in my nature. It shouldn't be in anybody's nature. And we're in 2008. This isn't 1945. We need to stop living like we're in 1945. People have rights, and we should give them their full rights.